There is a hall beyond the dark that no map ever drew, where every fallen warrior finds the door that lets them through. The gold is not for comfort, it is forged from final breath. The meat is not for pleasure, it is poured to honor death. I have heard the gates described by those too young to know the weight of standing at them, of being called to go beyond the world of sunlight into something vast and old. The Valkyries do not smile when they descend. They carry something heavier than any battle's end. A duty older than the war that brought you here. They choose not out of mercy, but out of something clear. Gates of the slave, open wide and cold. You do not ask for glory, only for the bold. The hall is not a reward, it is a continuation of everything we were before the final station. We do not enter laughing, we enter with the weight of every choice that led us to this dying gate. Gates of the slain we walk through without fear, because the only thing past dying is being here. I dreamed of standing at the threshold once before. A woman on a pale horse waiting at the door. She did not speak in words, she spoke in something older. Pressed her cold hand briefly on my shoulder. Markings older than the Rune, a pattern that repeated like the phases of the moon. Something ancient breathed between the roots and stone, not threatening but fast and never quite alone. Inside the dark, like breath against my skin. Between the branches, something old and watchful waits. Not malice, only wait, the kind that contemplates every footstep through its kingdom, green and vast. Forget, the forest holds the past. Where the gods still breathe, the forest holds its tongue. live inside the wine. The drums began their rhythm, all deliberate and still, building toward the moment when the offering is made. Not gentle, not soft, but heavy as a blade. The gods do not ask kindly, they ask for what is true. The deepest thing you carry, the thing that frightens you. This is not a prayer or whisper, this is a demand answered loud. What the altar demands is not your blood alone, it is the fear you carry deep inside the bone. It is the parts of you that you would rather hide. The gods see through the offering to what's inside. Blood and smoke rise together to the sky, carrying the truth that we cannot deny. What the altar demands is not for the faint, it is for those who carry what they cannot paint. In gentle colors, this is the old and heavy way. The gods of fire and iron do not simply hear and sway. Love and smoke, the oldest language ever known, spoken at the altar, carved from ancient stone. I have stood before the altar with my hands held tight around the things I fear to lose into the night. The fire took what I offered without asking why, and something in my chest broke open like the sky. After lightning, not destroyed, but somehow free of the weight I'd carried, that the gods could finally see. This is the cost traded sight for something she could not disguise. A knowing deeper than the surface of the world, a pattern beneath pattern slowly being unfurled. She told me every mark I'd ever want to cut would cost me something equal. There is no shortcut through the door between the seen and the unseen. What the rules remember is older than the gods. They were not invented, only found despite the odds of ever looking deep enough to see the shape of consequence in what we carve and we decree. What the rules remember is the cost of every gift Odin paid in blindness for the wisdom and the rift between the man he was and what he had to be. A god who bled 9 days upon the ancient tree. I carve the mark and feel the weight begin to settle in. Not punishment, just balance for the power I begin to hold inside my hands. The rules do not forgive, they only ask you live with what you choose to give. I cast the bones for a woman desperate for a sign and saw a truth I knew I had no right to define. For her the runes don't lie, but they are never kind. They show the pattern, but they leave the choice behind for us to make. I told her what I saw that night and watched her face go pale beneath the fading light. This is the cost of seeing. You cannot unsee what's true. What the rules remember is older than the gods. They were not invented, only found despite the odds of ever looking deep enough to see gods had carved a single rune or name. The void was old and silent, and it stayed the same. For longer than the mind can hold without it breaking, I am a flicker in that dark, barely worth the making. And yet I burn, and yet I reach toward the cold. A small and stubborn thing against the dark and old. Silence that existed long before I learned to speak. What is a human life against the turning dark? What is one small flame against the endless arc of stars that burned and died before the earth was made? And yet I matter, even here, even afraid. What the void remembers is every flickering light, every small rebellion against the endless night. We are not nothing just because we are not alone. We are the universe's brief and aching song. Speck of starlight burning in the dark and cold. Worth no more, no less than the ancient and the old. What the void remembers is that we dare to feel in a place so vast that nothing should be real. I stood beneath the northern lights and felt the weight of being briefly conscious in a cosmic state that doesn't need my witness and would not even know if I had never stood here watching colors flow across a sky too vast for any single mind. And yet I felt less small and somehow more aligned with everything that ever burned and ever died. What is a human life against the turning dark? What is one small flame against the endless arc of stars that burned and died before the earth was made? And yet I matter, even here, even afraid. What the void remembers is every flickering light, every small rebellion against the endless night. We are not nothing just because we are not alone. We are the universe's brief and aching song. A speck of starlight burning in the dark and cold. Worth no more and no less than the ancient and the old. What the void remembers is that we dare to feel in a place so vast that nothing should be real. I am not afraid of being small. I am afraid of never feeling small at all, of moving through this life and never seeing the terror and the gift of simply being. What the void remembers is every flickering light, every small rebellion against the endless night. We are not nothing just because we are not alone. We are the universe. where every fallen warrior finds the door that lets them through. The gold is not for comfort, it is forged from final breath. The meat is not for pleasure, it is poured to honor death. I have heard the gates described by those too young to know the weight of standing at them, of being called to go beyond the world of sunlight into something vast and old. The Valkyries do not smile when they descend. They carry something heavier than any battle's end, a duty older than the war that brought you here. They choose not out of mercy, but out of something clear. Gates of the slain open wide and cold. You do not ask for glory, only for the bold. The hall is not a reward, it is a continuation of everything we were before the final station. We do not enter laughing, we enter with the weight of every choice that led us to this iron gates. Gates of the slain we walk through without fear, because the only thing past dying is being here. I dreamed of standing at the threshold once before, a woman on a pale horse waiting at the door. She did not speak in words, she spoke in something older. Pressed her cold hand briefly on my shoulder, and I understood that death is not the silence that I fear. It is a doorway tended by the ones who have appeared to carry us across when our own strength runs dry. The Valkyries do not smile when they descend. They carry something heavier than any battle's end, a duty older than the war that brought you here. They choose not out of mercy, but out of something clear. Gates of the slain open wide and cold. You do not ask for glory, only for the bold. The hall is not a reward, it is a continuation of everything we were before the final station. We do not enter laughing, we enter with the weight of every choice that led us to this iron gates. Gates of the slain we walk through without fear, because the only thing past dying is being here. I am not afraid of what waits beyond the door. I am afraid of becoming someone the gate ignores, someone whose life did not deserve the hall, someone who never answered the deepest call. Gates of the slain open wide and cold. You do not ask for glory, only for the bold. The hall is not a reward, it is a continuation of everything we were before the final station. We do not enter I enter the forest where the moonlight could not reach, and found a silence with a language all its teach. The trees were carved with markings older than the Rune, a pattern that repeated like the phases of the moon. Something ancient breathed between the roots and stone, not threatening but fast, and never quite alone. I felt the gods inside the dark like breath against my skin. Between the branches something old and watchful waits, not malice, only wait, the kind that contemplates every footstep through its kingdom green and vast. The forest does not forget, the forest holds the past. Where the gods still breathe, the forest holds its tongue, a language spoken only when the world was young. Odin walks here still in shadow and in gray, not as a memory but present every day. The bark remembers everything the wind forgets, the roots hold every prayer and every soul's regrets. Where the gods still breathe, I am both small and known, a single breath inside a forest grown from bone. A raven followed me for miles through the trees, not hunting, only watching, carried by the breeze. I left an offering of bread upon a stone, and felt the forest answer in a tone too deep for human ears, but felt within the chest a presence neither cruel nor kind, simply the rest of everything the gods became when they grew old. Between the branches something old and watchful waits, not malice, only wait, the kind that contemplates every footstep through its kingdom green and vast. The forest does not forget, the forest holds the past. Where the gods still breathe, the forest holds its tongue, a language spoken only when the world was young. Odin walks here still in shadow and in gray, not as a memory but present every day. The bark remembers everything the wind forgets, the roots hold every prayer and every soul's regrets. Where the gods still breathe, I am both small and known, a single breath inside a forest grown from bone. I am not afraid of what the forest hides, I am afraid of what it sees inside. The parts of me I have not shown the light, the forest does not judge, it only sees the night. It only sees the night. Where the gods still breathe, where the gods still breathe, where the gods still breathe. They live inside the wide. A blade. The gods do not ask kindly, they ask for what is true, the deepest thing you can. carry what they cannot paint in gentle colors. This is the old and heavy way. The gods of fire and iron do not simply hear and sway. Blood and smoke, the oldest language ever known, spoken at the altar, carved from ancient stone. What you carry that you cannot hold, until the fear becomes the gold. The gods accept what's offered with an open hand. We rise from every altar, finally understood, finally a man. Finally a man. I learned the first rune from a woman with no eyes. She had traded sight for something she could not disguise. And knowing deeper than the surface of the world, a pattern beneath pattern slowly being unfurled. She told me every mark I'd ever want to cut would cost me something equal. There is no shortcut through the door between the seen and the unseen. What the runes remember is older than the gods. They were not invented, only found despite the odds of ever looking deep enough to see the shape of consequence in what we carve and we decree. The runes remember is the cost of every gift. Odin paid in blindness for the wisdom and the rift between the man he was and what he had to be. A god who bled 9 days upon the ancient tree. I carve the mark and feel the weight begin to settle in. Not punishment, just balance for the power I begin to hold inside my hands. The runes do not forgive, they only ask you live with what you choose to give. I cast the bones for a woman desperate for a sign, and saw a truth I knew I had no right to define. gods had carved a single rune or name. The void was old and silent, and it stayed the same for longer than the mind can hold without it breaking. I am a flicker in that dark, barely worth the making. And yet I burn, and yet I reach toward the cold, a small and stubborn thing against the dark and old silence that existed long before I learned to speak. What is a human life against the turning dark? What is one small flame against the endless arc of stars that burned and died before the earth was made? And yet I matter, even here, even afraid. What the void remembers is every flickering light, every small rebellion against the endless night. We are not nothing just because we are not alone. We are the universe's brief and aching song. A speck of starlight burning in the dark and cold, worth no more and no less than the ancient and the old. What the void remembers is that we dare to feel in a place so vast that nothing should be real. I stood beneath the northern lights and felt the weight of being briefly conscious in a cosmic state that doesn't need my witness and would not even know if I had never stood here watching colors flow across a sky too vast for any single mind. And yet I felt less small and somehow more alive with everything that ever burned and ever died. What is a human life against the turning dark? What is one small flame against the endless arc of stars that burned and died before the earth was made? And yet I matter, even here, even afraid. What the void remembers is every flickering light, every small rebellion against the endless night. We are not nothing just because we are not alone. We are the universe's brief and aching song. A speck of starlight burning in the dark and cold, with no more and no less than the ancient and the old. What the void remembers is that we dare to feel in a place so vast that nothing should be real. I am not afraid of being small. I am afraid of never feeling small at all, of moving through this life and never seeing the terror and the gift of simply being. What the void remembers is every flickering light, every small rebellion against the endless nights. We are not nothing just because we are not alone. was not the same.